roguelikes. They keep making them. So many of them, in fact, it's easy to miss what's coming up. So I've played a bunch of roguelike demos that you probably didn't, just to see if they're interesting. I'm Hupfin, and this is Demo Disc. Near the Fear is a driving roguelike with tricky handling and a motif of anxiety. So basically, like when I used to drive a crappy Oldsmobile.
Look at the bisexual lighting on this menu.
You remember having visions about this place.
A lighthouse. I do remember playing BioShock, yes.
Little sneak peeks every time life was tough. I don't think about BioShock when life is tough. I don't know how I was meant to handle that. Corruption damages your health. Use ability avoid to pass through corruption. I have a dodge roll. There's definitely a finesse sort of thing with driving this car. Yeah, like it's so easy to spin out, but that's because I'm just going like pedal to the metal, you know? Because I'm being chased by a demon hand. So, this says world tendency? So I want to be balancing the two, I guess? Clear just seems better, though. I will drive as fast as I damn well please, thank you very much, video game. If you want me to go slower, don't have a giant hand chasing me. I do always respect a hub area that like lets you practice the core mechanic. Self-world. The hand is so fast. There's a lot of hands in the background. I've noticed a lot of hand. Aha, choose an upgrade. Sure. This way if I get shot, no I didn't. The hand's so fast! Okay, that's not much launch boost, but it's something. I kind of feel like that launch at the start, that feels like the sort of thing that you should just have by default. You're not faster than the hand, which makes sense, but it does mean like that launch boost and just like perfect driving is pretty necessary. Are there not going to be any upgrades to like influence the car's handling? You know what? That's style points. We did a 360. Oh, so if you go Dark World tendency, the track just gets harder. Like I can fall off now. Also, the music gets grimier. I just jumped. So that area has me concerned. Decreased missile count. The missiles are not the problem. It's the hand is too fast. I am braking on these corners, so if the game is gonna be like, you should learn to brake, I'm gonna throw expletives. Expletives? Expletives. It was 5 for the first 20%, then it's 10 for the next 20%. I assume. So that works out to like 80 orbs? To get the ability to boost. What? Yes, video game, this is bullshit. What? So there's a lot of the concept here that I'm honestly fond of. A roguelike driving game could be really cool. And I think there is something to that world tendency idea, the game kind of changing to react to your build. Except that it felt like going dark was just incorrect in a weird way. And like, narratively, I get that. It just meant that I never wanted to use the avoid ability. So that's a decent chunk of the game that it made me not want to interact with, which made it all feel a little shallower as a result. I also feel like this is falling short in just using its roguelike nature. What I mean by that is there are a ton of aspects to driving a car. You know, your handling, your acceleration. Think of every stat that you have in Mario Kart, you know? And that is a lot of room for upgrades and effects and builds, essentially. And none of those concepts are here. The post-level upgrades felt sort of uninteresting. You know, it's leaving a lot on the table. There's a great video by Pepperhead about what makes a good roguelike. And one point is mechanical versus numerical changes. I'll link the video below. And I think that is the sort of thing that needs attention for Near the Fear to be interesting. Really, all the points in the video warrant a review. There's a lot of little improvements that I think this game could use overall. Dreamsweeper is 3 different games and at least one genre of YouTube playlist, all wrapped in a pastel candy coating. In this segment, you will be cozy.
Okay, well, immediately it's asking what kind of sweeper player I am. I don't think I know. Stepped on a hidden black hole. Well, I was going to say usually those are easier to see. They're black holes. On a scientific level, they're not easy to see. Fair. Well, that's that room cleared. That is an enemy. Just press the correct direction based on the arrow where the... So it's a rhythm game too? This video game is several video games. Thing is, I do have a background in rhythm games. So, take that. Some star bits, use them to buy items, and determination points. That can't be all there is to the manual. There is more to the manual, but it's very blurry. Let's dance. The music has no relationship to the rhythm game. I feel like this has to be like that. Ta-da. Yeah, I had a feeling. It does seem like I'm not good at the Minesweeper portion of our program. Big pillow unlocked. TV unlocked. This is feeling like a battle pass. It is very like cutesy and chunky, which I would expect. It's Midnight City, baby. Got money in that fight, I guess? I probably should have said beginner. In hindsight, I may have oversold my sweeping capabilities. I don't know why I'm batting fireballs now, but I am. I'll be honest, I don't know how much the combat is really adding. I am coming around to the combat a little bit. It just feels weird to have rhythm-centric combat and this like lo-fi beats aesthetic. You end up with a rhythm game that doesn't do rhythm. We get a GameCube for it. A legally distinct GameCube. Yeah, kind of don't
care about items much, because they're mostly about the combat phase. And I don't want to say I'm perfect at the combat phase, but I'm not afraid of it, you know? Is that it? So we won the demo? I think we've won the demo. I want to see what expert looks like. Floor 1 on expert. I just realized I have 72 stars. Or 74 stars, sorry. Oh boy. looks like a Medusa head. So yeah, absolutely a cute, chill out kind of game. There is some difficulty available. I definitely saw it when I set the sweeping to expert, but I don't know. I feel like the vibe for this game is one where you don't want to challenge yourself too much. It's a chill time. But that's kind of the problem. Relaxed and meditative doesn't have to mean shallow. And I know I'm saying this about a demo, which is always going to be just a slice of the experience. But what I'm always looking for is, does the dev have some depth in mind? And does it feel like there's something more and the dev knows it? So that's my main worry with this. And with the Kickstarter that I just missed and sadly didn't get funded, I wonder if that's the heart of the issue. The concept is nice, the vibes are great. It just needs to show something more. One more mechanic or a twist on Minesweeper or something, just to demonstrate that there's depth. In Koboo the Tree Spirit, nature has had enough of humanity. Fair. Let's go be a botanical assassin. You glide a bit. Neat. Never mind that. I hear more humans up ahead. Grab your weapons and fight. Okay. Leaf axe. Throwing leaves. Hit the circles for critical damage. It's like Fortnite. Does anyone remember that that's a mechanic? Does anyone even play the building modes of Fortnite anymore? I feel like everyone I know heard about no build and was like, finally, Fortnite is playable. I'm quite badly hurt. Okay. I actually kind of like that last stand mechanic. That is basically how I'm going to live my entire life, though. Because dodging is not easy. Oh, woo! I can just wall jump. I can just double jump. Triple jump? I was not aware of these jumping abilities. Bunny hop. Hop into the air, dealing damage where you jump from. The thing is, I have to? How did that hit? Parrying an enemy stuns them. There's a parry. I wouldn't... Yeah, if you get hit while you're in last stand, though, you're done. That's fair. I need to drop these barrels on a guy. I simply need this. It didn't even do that much damage. The climbable backdrop is nifty, but it kind of disrupts. Why did I do that? And not like, why did I make those control decisions? Like, why did that happen? Why am I doing that plunge? Again, with the... I think it's reading like a barely downward controller input as down slam. The art is pretty good. It does feel like the sprites are a bit zoomed out, I guess. Like if these, I would expect these sprites to be smaller on a screen, I guess is what I'm feeling. They're not bad by any stretch. They just, well, they feel stretched. How does that count as hitting me? The hitbox on that one. is one of the hitboxes of all time, I tell you. There's stuff up there now, though. I've noticed there's stuff. Was there always stuff? I do want to get a successful run in, though. Wait, I can go Dagger's Axe. Just have no, like, ranged or specialty options at all. The arc on this guy's hits is still just ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So now we have poison daggers and an executioner's axe. We're gonna save nature this way. Still occasionally feel like I'm getting hit by things I shouldn't be. I will beat this. I will save nature with violence. It does end up feeling a little weird how the enemies just, sometimes, they just kind of stand there. I can't believe I parried him with a rock. This is perfectly flat. Yep. Okay. He has 2 moves. And no life. Victory! So I really want to know what the balance between combat and exploration is going to be here. Because the whole Fortnite critical spot thing, it's actually kind of nice, but overall I wasn't a fan of the combat. Hitboxes didn't quite feel right, mainly from the enemy attacks. It felt very much like, dive in, do one hit, dive out. The ability for a bit more comboing, I think that would feel great for sure. And I can see the opportunities for more exploration and use of the arena and all that. That could be a pretty interesting setup, and I think it'd be better to lean on that side of things. Combo someone into an environmental hazard, or drop some barrels and then one bounces up and you smack that into someone. More improvisational combat, I think, could be engaging. Now, the demo does say it's just the combat part of Koboo, so I hope the other aspects of the game are also exciting. A roguelike doesn't have to be totally reliant on its combat, after all. You can lean on exploration or puzzling or what have you. So I'm really curious what that balance is going to look like. And the devs have mentioned that the demo is rather bare bones compared to what they're going for in the full game, which, fair. Demo scoping it's such a fine art. It's tough. You can't give too much away, but you gotta give enough to sell people on it. But I suspect for this game, a combat-only demo isn't quite enough. Let us explore. Let me fish. Okay, look. In this game, you're a knight with an assault rifle. I didn't need anything else. My friend Random Rings, who joined for co-op, they didn't need anything else. You don't need anything else. Let's just go. There we go. We're ready.
Okay, it does work. Cool. Oh my god.
That might be an overstatement.
I was gonna say.
Search for objectives. They appear to be over this way. We're in purple land, I guess.
I'm okay with purple land.
Yeah.
Oh, friendly fire is a thing that happens. It doesn't feel bad on controller.
That's good to know. It does feel like a pretty standard third-person shooter on mouse and keyboard. Stay alive to distract the fallen from our other missions. So we are just cannon fodder right now. I don't know. I'm gonna say more gun.
More gun.
I've made the verdict of gun.
If I've learned anything from living in America, that seems to be the consensus. Everyone tells me that's the good thing. Gotta click sample, Soki. Oh, that's probably a sample. Get out of here. I've collected a sample.
I'm sorry, the assassin just jumped my ass.
I was wondering what was happening over there. Yeah, it's 20. Nope, I don't have enough. Oops.
Okay. We gotta goop up.
Oh, wait, we've gooped. I see 23 total
Hey.
shimmer. Okay, next one we're good to goop. The whole aesthetic of coming in like a medieval knight, just we have an assault rifle.
Yeah.
Okay, interact continuously, so have fun.
Woo! Reaper. Oh man.
I hardly know her.
I hope there's like meta shit to where you can make the sword busted or something, because like it really does like we were dunking on it before, but it really does seem like most of the time it's pointless.
Yeah, it really feels like you only want it when you're out of ammo.
All right, time to the crash course of me getting good at Dark Souls right now. I guess that's how we're doing this one. Yeah, they really do call me the Bloodborne of Dark Souls. And it's not for nothing.
It wouldn't
Oh.
drop that area, I suppose. I'm gonna not stand in it.
I stood in it.
It didn't
I
even hurt
lived.
you.
Nah, I'm built different. They don't call me the fire type of Souls likes for nothing.
Do they call you the fire type of Souls likes?
It was a college thing. It was a weird time in my life.
Fair. I'm trying to make my way to the next objective, by the way.
Wait, where are we going?
Towards the next objective.
Oh, okay. You scam.
Yeah, if I hit tab, I get a little, like, adventure line.
Oh.
A little Stanley Parable adventure line.
Hmm.
What? Influence the supplier?
Never heard of that band.
Yeah, I'll be an influencer. That's you.
Sweet.
Wait, I can't.
It's me.
I can't hit you with my sword though. It doesn't seem like.
Oh. Huh.
Right, time to go be a distraction.
Oh yeah. That's my favorite thing to be.
Oh, he coming. Oh Lord, he coming.
Oh no. I might die. Yeah.
I'm trying to clear out the ads.
Ow. Please. Ow.
Yeah, I do feel convinced that we are going to die.
Nah, that's fine. Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh. Jesus Christ.
So when we were done, I did ask Random Rings for their thoughts. What do you think?
It's not bisexual enough, and I don't want to compare it to just Hades, but like, there's not enough girls that are also gods that can like kill you for funsies.
It is lacking in frankly all of those fronts.
Yeah. Other than that, it's really good.
Yeah. And I wouldn't compare this to Hades personally, but I think I agree in broad strokes. The gameplay felt good moment to moment. The difficulty and complexity curved up nicely enough. I can almost see a sort of Destiny 2 feel, like with the strikes in that. But speaking of comparisons, I was originally thinking Monster Hunter, poking around that hub area. It's not actually a good comparison, but, you know, it was something. And that was going to be it for how I compared this to other games. But then, well, Helldivers 2 happened, is the thing. And now we have this really popular, really strong benchmark for a co-op third-person shooter that I'm sure the developer is playing and getting ideas from and all that. But it kind of sucks to be in that spot where you're getting compared to something with a much bigger team. You know, Nights Within is a solo dev project, which I want to point out because the game genuinely looks good. And more importantly, it's absurd. Futuristic power armor made to look like a medieval knight. And sure, take a rifle and a longsword into battle like you're Jack Churchill. This is Final Fantasy levels of anachronistic goof. And I hope they lean into it. You know, a lot of how we talk about media is through genre and comparison. Comparing Nights Within to other stuff is inevitable, even if it's not fair. So it needs to stand out, and I think that absurdity is the way to go. It doesn't have to be goofy. I honestly think taking this sort of thing with a straight face makes it so much better. But leaning into that would draw attention, and I think the gameplay would carry that weight. It needs more content, of course, just a demo right now, but I do think this developer can flesh it out mechanically. I just hope it doesn't compare itself into being generic in the process. You know, be absurd is my only advice here. Oh, it's goopy. A twin stick shooter where you play as a blob. And I'm gonna linger on those tags for a bit, just really give them attention. You'll see why. We have weapons, we have secondaries, we got a lot of cards. Okay, choose a starting weapon. Garlic-like essence. I wonder how that operates. I'm also seeing a 30-minute timer. Is this a survivor's like? What did I just pick up? Have I gone berserk? Also, there is like a level layout. It seems like. Can I go through this little? I can go through this little crack. That's using the slime. Because the enemies can't go through that. They're too chunky. What with their bones and all. This is gonna suck. That's the suck. I want to do something with that ball. Why are you closed? I now embody a key, and I don't know why. The door. There was a door. There we go. It opened the door. I don't know if there was another way into this room. Maybe the large man was just on a timer. Problem is there's a lot of other things that aren't the very large man. And they all hurt. Like, I respect the riff of, you know, if we're gonna do Vampire Survivors and do it slightly different, how do we make it slightly different? Well, throw in deck building stuff. I don't know that it works. Wait, was I like table slamming those things? That seems effective. Hold on. I'd like to shove a table and delete these things. It's kind of silly how effective that is. This slime could never run a furniture shop. It'd just be a mass casualty event. It has no right to be this powerful. I gotta escape goo. It feels like it's pushing me away, but I don't see why I shouldn't be able to go towards that green circle. The game has crashed. So I'm gonna put the Steam screenshot back up for a moment because, yeah, I genuinely did not realize this was a Survivor-style game. The way it sells itself isn't the kind of language and framing that I'd expect. So that's the first bit of feedback. If you're gonna make a bullet heaven, Survivors like whatever, just use the terminology. You know, genre can be dumb, but it sets expectations. And as an aside, I decided when I restarted Demo Disc that I wasn't going to cover bullet heavens. They're podcast games, you know? You veg out to them. They're not as interesting to cover, and it's really hard to make one that stands out. Which I know the developer knows. After I do the recording and make my notes, I look stuff up on the games that I feature. You know, want to make sure I have the facts right. And I saw that the dev for this, who worked on Pacific Drive, so he knows what he's doing, decided to pause work on this game. So I'm sympathetic. You know, it's hard to make things It's hard to make things that are original enough to get attention. I mean, anyone who watches Iron Pineapple had my number since the last video. You know, I get it. So if something isn't working, it isn't working. That's fair. But I hope Demo Disc encourages developers and not discourages them. That's what I want to give here. So on the slim chance the developer, Brian May, does see this video, I would say, loved your work with Queen, because I'm a twat and I would make that joke. But more seriously, I would say, I grabbed this for Demo Disc because I was hoping for a weird game that riffed on Robotron and Slay the Spire and stuff like that. So if you do want to return to Ooze Odyssey, and I hope you do, maybe think in that direction instead of another bullet heaven, you know? From the developer of Songbringer comes Wraithbinder. Like Songbringer, it's procedurally generated, top-down action, and it's a wee bit inscrutable.
It's always a bit amusing when the demo has achievements. It's an interesting way to like gauge how much is actually being played. There's character customization. I don't know what we've made, but by God, we've made it. Are we on an airship? I hope we're on an airship. We're on an airship. Time to ascend. Time to get an achievement for ascending. Can I break all of these? I'll pick up the sword. It's free. +1 bindable wraith. What? I'm gonna take the thing that's less inscrutable. Big spinny. Or more max health. Secret walls and paths. It's paid off already. Again, solidly inscrutable. And I kind of respect it. But it does mean I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Hello, boss. I just leveled up, so if you don't mind. I had a feeling you'd bring out little guys. I beat a mini boss. According to the achievement, I beat a mini boss. There we go. We're slowly turning Ott into Sonic the Hedgehog. The level disintegrating behind me, I'm going to classify that as a problem. Again, on the inscrutable front, no clue why that's the thing that it does. This is my affliction. I have to check all of these. I have to break every pot. Use golden light to permanently power up. Okay. The kerning has been struggling a little bit here. Okay, so I'm buying the ability to upgrade them, and then I use the light to actually do the upgrading. Slay foes to bind them as wraiths. Get bound, I guess. So you defeat an enemy, and then you get it as a little like spirit summon. Archangel of Spawning. Something tells me it's gonna have a lot of ads. The thing about this fight is there's so many guys. Mini grenade. Move speed. I have been feeling like I'm a little slow in this game overall, so 1% melee defense, 1% ranged defense. That doesn't feel very legendary. I have 11 health. It's not a good amount of health. I have 16 health. That's still not a good amount, but it is technically better. Oh, did he knock my sword out of? He knocks my sword out of my hand. That's cool, and I hate him. Yeah, we'll checkpoint. Considering my extremely low health. And the very
boss-shaped vibe that I'm currently getting from this boss. I'm so fast. You can't hit what you can't reach. And of course, I do not do much damage to this guy. How am I still alive? It's gonna be like no commentary on this because this is the most intense fight that I've tried to do. I think I beat the demo first shot. Yeah. Huh. So, style-wise, this is about what I expected, having played Songbringer. The visual style, the atmosphere, I was always left feeling like I didn't 100% know what I was doing or what was going on. And apparently this was after some revisions were made to the game to make it more readable. But that's just this developer's style, so I imagine it's a love it or leave it kind of thing. And I like it. You know, it's not to the point that I can't follow, it's just tricky. And what I can grasp does feel nice. It's nothing revolutionary, but it feels solid enough. It's when that eponymous Wraithbinding came in that I was like, oh, there could be a cool flow to this game. You don't often think about target priority in roguelikes beyond deciding on the biggest threat to take out first. And I feel like this mechanic can change that around, make you shift your focus based on if you need a strong ally or not. You don't want to burn down a big guy if you can't claim him. It's a missed opportunity. What I'm curious about, though, is how the promise of keeping gear and the like, run after run, is going to end up feeling. It could just be, standard meta progression. It could make later runs too easy. It could be totally required to make it anywhere in a new run. So I'm very wait and see with all this. I never actually finished Songbringer, by the way. I liked it. It just didn't hold my interest. So I'll keep an eye on Wraithbinder. Just hope it doesn't fall into the same bin. You get 10 seconds to live, I get 10 seconds to explain. Stylish, fast-paced, it's like Post-Void, but very anime and a bit more refined. Good game. Well, there you have it. I had downloaded a bunch of demos during Next Fest, and even more of them afterwards. I'm just gonna keep making videos about them. It's fun. And keep tweaking the format a little here and there, try and make it my own thing. And thank you again to Random Rings for hopping on co-op with me. If you want to get in on possible future co-op sessions or just talk indie game stuff, I do have a link to the Discord below. Or at least I will until someone comes in and tries to make a mess of the place. I know how the internet is. But hey, you can always subscribe here, like the video, general engagement request, the usual. There will be more of these, probably other kinds of videos too. I gotta get some value out of all that Balatro time, So I hope to see you next time. Until then, hope you have a good one.